This is a serious video today. As you know, I'm very laid back, chilled, understanding, always give others the benefit of the doubt. But today I've never been treated so badly. I am upset. I just made a video about stress, about keeping stress down yesterday, but today I'm a little stressed. And the reason I'm making this video is because I don't think anyone should be treated this way. Because of privacy, I can't tell you exactly who in my family. We needed to go to the doctors. Today we had an appointment. And on the phone, they confirmed and said, you get one of those automated machines saying, press 1 if you're coming to your appointment, and I did yesterday. But then I get a call. The appointment was at 3:45. I got a message on my phone around, I'd have to check. It was probably an hour or so before the appointment, saying that they didn't get paperwork from this other doctor who was supposed to fax information. They said something about that they didn't get, the patient's permission to share, something about privacy. But we did go into that other office and we did sign whatever paperwork. So that office as well screwed up not sending the paperwork to this doctor's office, because this doctor needed to make a prescription. This wasn't the only reason we were seeing this doctor. We needed a follow-up because of the condition. And I could tell on the phone they were just trying to cancel, because this group, I'm not going to even mention names right now, because I want to contact a patient's advocacy group. So if anybody knows of one, I want patients to be treated properly and fair and with respect. So that's the reason I'm not leaving this alone. I think we're switching doctors, the management and the office. So they're pushing these doctors, and I've seen it before at other hospitals, where they're pushing these doctors to see patients in 5-10 minutes. Get out next. And every time I go, we always wait 30 minutes. I never complain. I know they're busy, so we wait like we do. But on the phone, they're telling me that, doctor can't see you unless we get that paperwork from the other doctor. I'm like, why didn't you tell me this like yesterday? So, because it takes a while to get through to anybody on the phone. They were like, well, we need the paperwork from the other doctor in order to prescribe the prescription. I'm like, well, it's fine if you can't prescribe the prescription today. We just need to follow up anyhow with the doctor. So we will be there at 3:45, but I will call the other doctor and make sure that they get that paperwork over here. I called the other office, and they're like, well, you didn't fill out the paperwork. I'm like, what are you talking about? I walked in, you saw me, I talked to you. And they're like, oh, well, let me check the front desk. And yeah, they found the paperwork. So not only they insisted that I didn't sign this paper that I did, they, making me feel like I'm either a liar or I don't know what. But I'm not even angry at that office. I really am not, because someone just screwed up, okay? But then they were, sorry, okay, we'll send it over. So they went ahead and sent it over. So it took me, like I said, at least a half an hour on the phone to get that done, and then we headed off to the 3:45 appointment. I would have not been late 6 minutes if it weren't for this office. If they were to have called me at least the day before saying, hey, we needed paperwork, or don't worry about the paperwork, just be here at 3:45. But they were like, well, you need that paperwork. I'm sorry to go ramble on about that, but I'm trying to make it as clear as possible. You may not even know what the heck I'm talking about. But the main thing is, I got there and they're like, oh, you're late. I'm like, well, it's five minutes late, and it was because you folks told me I had to call this other office. And they're like, it's 6 minutes late. And I could tell when I was on the phone with them, before, that they were trying to cancel this appointment. Why don't they just say, hey, we're backed up, we're booked, whatever, don't come in. And then when I was on the phone earlier, and I was like, I'm going to come in anyhow because we have that appointment. And we need to follow up anyways. And they're like, okay. So they knew I was driving in, and I told them that Rick had canceled and made space for the day so we could drive out there for the appointment. And they knew before I got there, while I was on the phone, that they were going to cancel me when I got there. They were looking for some excuse. I have no idea why, but the office people are nasty. And you know, I'm very understanding with everybody and how people are, but so uncaring. What's the word? Asympathetic. Couldn't care less. They weren't helpful with the whole situation, trying to get paperwork. They didn't even bother checking before, like an hour or so before this appointment, that there was paperwork missing. And the manager was like, well, the doctor can't see you because you're late. I'm like, we're 6 minutes late, and it was your office's fault, and I always wait a half an hour or more to when we come, and I never complain. And you're telling me you're canceling the appointment because of 6 minutes? I really think it was 5 minutes, but they're saying 6. First they said 7, then they're like, oh, 6. I'm like, 5, but whatever. Usually doctor offices give you like 15 minutes, but this wasn't even my fault. But anyways, so she's like the manager, and she has this cool and calm, you know, the kind of voice that they can give a shit. Excuse my language. I'm just angry at how they treated us. And so she goes, oh, well, I'll go back and talk to the doctor. Now listen, if she talked to the doctor would have seen us. She is a very kind and loving person. She's not the kind of person who would just cancel, especially with a condition that this family member has. And they knew that we already waited quite some time to get in. So, you know, the manager comes back and says, oh, the doctor says she can't see you because you're late. That's BS. Because A, she wouldn't have said that, and B, 6 minutes is not late. And then I asked them, where is that policy on paper that you can cancel an appointment? And the other girl's like, and that's why I had asked a girl who was sitting at the desk, where is the policy that says that if you're, you know, 5-6 minutes late, that they can cancel an appointment? She's like, oh, I don't know, you have to ask the manager. But the manager came back, and I totally forgot to even ask about that. I said, you could tell the doctor we're no longer patients. We will be transferring records as soon as we find a new doctor. And I'm going to make sure this gets on the internet. And I'll make another video on this with names. But I first want to check with either a lawyer or, and it's not, I don't want any money. I don't want anything like that. I want patients to be treated properly. It's too many times that patients, and I've seen this before with other people, treated poorly, and patients feel like they have no rights, like there's nothing that they could do. There's got to be some kind of patient advocacy group or lawyers or somebody who can make these people treat their patients fairly. I wasn't asking for any special treatment. I was there for the freaking appointment, and I was 6 minutes late because of them, and they canceled. So the whole day, you know, was surrounded around this appointment, and we couldn't do it. And they're like, oh, we could, reschedule. I'm like, no. She goes, well, I'm going to write down here that, you know, you refuse to reschedule. Who knows what else they put there. I'm sure they put that I was, you know, I don't know what words they'll use, because I was not happy. And I let her know. I said, I'm going to make sure everybody knows how we were treated, and because this is not right. And she goes, well, I apologize, I'm sorry, but the way she said it, she can give a crap. And I told her, I said, you don't care. I said, you don't care at all. And she goes, oh, yes, I do. I said, you don't. And I walked out. Could I don't know. I think I was civil enough. I was upset. I didn't swear at anybody. If Rick was up there, I don't think he would have been as patient as me. But I've had trouble with them before, trying to, I forget what the situation was, but they're just so uncaring. They don't give a crap. And this is, like I said, not the first time, but this is the worst. This is the worst I've ever been treated by anyone, not just doctor offices, anyone. Except for this one other time. I mean, sometimes people are nasty and mean, and they don't care. They're heartless. Why are they working in healthcare? Healthcare is about helping others. I know this is not a positive video, but again, it's not about me or my family. It's about them treating future patients, and especially elderly or other people who can't do something about it or don't know how. I know at least how to find some information by getting on the internet, but there's a lot of older people down here and they wouldn't know how to get help. And I'm sure it's much, much worse than what happened to me for other people. But this has to be stopped. People can't treat others, especially in the healthcare field, like this. So if you have any comments for me below, let me know. What my main thing is, I need help finding patient advocacy groups. Maybe there's nothing that we can do other than switch doctors. And that's not easy in our situation because it's a specialized thing. So that's something for you all to think about when you move, and check your area to make sure that there's proper doctors that you need and that they have good reviews and all that. It's like we don't have a lot of options. I'm sorry that I am upset and this was not a happy video, but hopefully I could at least bring awareness on this. Patients are being treated poorly in many ways, just being thrown through the system. They don't care if they're half an hour, 1 hour late. They don't care, and they really don't care. There's not even a true, like, oh, I'm so sorry. You could tell it's like a automatic reply. I'm sorry. If you would like to reschedule, it's like a robot. It's like, who the hell are you? Like, are you a robot? It feels like they're a robot. Robot has more caring way of speaking to somebody. I'm not overreacting. I'm not exaggerating. I'm telling you that this is the worst I've ever been treated, and I'm sure many others are not being treated fairly. So anything you can do to help, comment below. Any information, I appreciate it. Well, thank you very much. Please like, definitely share, because I need as many people as possible to see this, to get some help. And if I think there's any way that it would be helpful, after talking to a patient advocacy group, I will make another video with who the system is. I don't want you getting upset with the doctor, because I know she has nothing to do with it. It's the system, the people in the office. Yeah, so I'll try to get a video up with more details if it's warranted. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.